Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel for another video. Today I'm going to be showing you a book haul. My library has a book sale every few months and the proceeds go to library needs and stuff. So this is their biggest one they haven't had yet because they're opening a brand new library facility in I think a month soon. So I was really excited for the sale and I was kind of let down because I went yesterday and I was there like when they opened and the line. So the sale happens on the 3rd floor and then there was a line going all the way down to the 1st floor. And I had Kai in the stroller. So I had to take the elevator and then I had to wait for someone to let me in line because I couldn't go down the stairs. You know what I'm saying? But I did eventually get let in line and then it like wrapped around the 3rd floor. Finally, you got into the room. And so I'm like thinking this is about to be the best book sale ever. No, it wasn't. No. There weren't that many options. There was just nothing I was really interested in. I did get a bag, a $5 bag. And I am interested in these books. Some of them were just cover picks. Like I just love the cover. Some of them I actually really find interesting. But before you think, oh my gosh, what a waste. Why would you just buy books that look good? Or what if you don't like them? Anything I don't like, I'm either going to give to a family member who would, or I'll donate it to the next sale, or I'll donate it somehow or a way or other. But I did not want my time and effort to be wasted because it is not easy getting that boy to sit still in the stroller for an hour and a half. So anyways, let's get started with the books that I found. And these are in no particular order. I'm just grabbing them out of the bag. So the first one is called War in 2020. It was written by Ralph Peters. And I don't know when it was written because it looks kind of old. Like one of those old mass paperbacks. 1991. So the year my sister was born. It says the Soviet army is barely holding on to its last line of defenses, devastated by the Islamic and Soviet rebel forces supplied by the Japanese. Reeling from a deadly worldwide plague and defeat in Africa, the U.S. sends the legendary Colonel George Taylor, commanding the 7th Cavalry, as a last-ditch effort to save the Soviets. Undetected by Japanese spy satellites, the squadrons race to strike a fatal blow on untried weapon that is lost. Best hope in the U.S. arsenal. In this battle fought by electronics and lasers, where the killers never lock eyes, the Americans succeed overwhelmingly. But then the Japanese strike back with a weapon of horrible, unimaginable power. I'm not usually huge into like war stories unless it's like the Civil War, but I did find this interesting because it was written in 1991, and so to them 2020 was so far out in the future that they thought we'd have like lasers and like cool things like that, which I mean I guess we do, but I don't think we're as advanced as everyone had expected. But I wanted to read this also because 2020 is like 2 years away. I mean, we're here. And so I think it would be really interesting to see how this compares to what they had imagined back then. The next book I got is Bruno, Chief of Police by Martin Walker. And this one is about, it's set in France and it's about a police officer who is known for his compassion and his kindness. He has a gun and a gun permit, of course. He's a police officer and he has the ability to arrest, but he rarely does because he's just kind and he's like, hey, just like don't do that. And it works for him. And then a murder, I guess, sends everything out of control and he has to decide whether or not to become tougher and stuff. So this one, it sounds pretty interesting. And the next book is One of Those Malibu Nights by Elizabeth Adler. And I want to say this was in the romance section, but it doesn't sound like a, when you think of romance, you think like raunchy, dirty. This one doesn't sound like it. This one is, this woman shows up in his doorway holding a black negligee and a gun and tries to shoot him. And he barely dodges a bullet, literally. And so he pairs up with his ex on-again, off-again girlfriend to try and find the woman. And he's a private investigator, so at least he knows what he's looking for, I guess. He knows what he's doing, so that's good. I also got Man Eater by Gigi Lavangi Grazer. And I have heard about this one on BookTube. And I've seen it somewhere else. I don't know. But this one I really want to read. It's kind of like a coming of age, like discovering yourself, finding happiness, Confessions of a Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. I've heard about this one. I heard it's a really light and fun read, and so I thought I would give it a try. And the next one is Devil Water by Anya Seton, and this is a historical fiction novel, and I'm really into historical fiction, and so I thought I'd pick it up and give it a go. It was originally written in 1962, so I'm excited to see what that one is about. And then the next book I got is Hunting Unicorns by Bella Pollen, and this one is about brothers and how their lives... I'll just read the back. I'm terrible at this. Adrift in a rapidly changing world, the Bevan family cling to the tradition while wrestling with taxes, tree blight, and the need to keep the family skeleton firmly in the cupboard. The Earl and Countess of Bevan, charming, mad, and emotionally abbreviated. Daniel, their eldest, is funny, intelligent, but a hopeless alcoholic. Rory, his younger brother, sometimes moody, often cross, but mostly furious. And enter Maggie, an opinionated and occasionally ferocious American journalist for CBS's current affairs show Newsline. Far happier sending back dispatches from the trenches of war torn anywhere, Maggie is none too pleased at being forced to research a documentary on the decline and fall of England's upper class. When these two worlds collide, no one is prepared for the fallout. So this is a romantic comedy, so it just sounds good. I like a good family drama. The next book is In the Company of the Courtesan by Sarah Dunant. And I got this one. It's set in Rome in 1527, and so I kind of wanted to read more books from other eras, so I'm gonna try that one. I also got The Joylet Club by Amy Tan, and my mom would never let me watch this movie when I was younger because it was inappropriate, even though I really wanted to watch it, and I've heard really good things about it. So I'm excited to read this, and then I am an adult. I should pick up that movie. I'm gonna. This one was a cover by. It is called Seagrass Pier by Colleen Coble. Uh-oh, it says it's a Hope Beach novel, so I hope it's not... Let's see what number it is. Dang it, it's number 3. I didn't know that. So I'm gonna have to check online to see if I can rent the first 2. I got Winter Storms by Ellen Hildebrand. This was kind of just a cover purchase, but also Ellen Hildebrand, sorry, I've heard she's a really good author, and so I would love to try one of her books. And then I got Jemima J by Jane Green, and part of me feels like I think I've read this. I know it was on my TBR, but maybe I haven't read it. I'm super excited. This is probably going to be the first book I read out of all of these. What the heck? Look at these. Those shoes are way too small for her. Look at her feet. End here. The shoe ends up here. Anyways, this one was a cover purchase, and you'll see why. Ooh, so pretty. It's called A Visit from the Goon Squad by Jennifer Egan. I have heard about her too. I've heard she writes really good stuff. I wonder if it tells me what else she's written on here. Emerald City, The Invisible Circus, The Keep, and Look at Me. None of those ring a bell. But I have heard of her. I hate the cover on this one. No offense to Cameron Diaz. I love her. But I don't like the movie adaptation covers. But anyways, it's called In Her Shoes by Jennifer Weiner. I have heard of her, and she writes really good books. This one is very out of character for me. It's called Lovers and Dreamers by Nora Roberts, and it was in the romance section, which is not really my thing, but you guys know I love the big floppy paperbacks, and this like purplish maroon is beautiful, And even the metallic hearts, they're just beautiful. Oh my gosh. See, I'm telling you what, it was so crazy busy there that I didn't really, like, I paid attention to what I was doing, but it was really hard. People were bumping into us and like literally pushing us out of the way. And this has 3 books in one. So this is an entire trilogy. That's why it's so big and floppy. But that's awesome. Because this normally retails for $14, and I paid $6 for this entire bag of books. This one does sound good to me. It's called The Lover of the Grave, and it's by Andrew Taylor. It is a murder mystery. It says, after the coldest night of the year, a sheep farmer is found hanging from a tree at crossroads outside the market town of Lynmouth. He is wearing handcuffs and his legs are bound with his trousers round his ankles. Oh, Lord. Suicide seems the obvious conclusion. Or is it accidental death resulting from some bizarre sexual practice? Journalist Jill Francis and Detective Inspector Thornhill become involved in the case in separate ways and decide to delve into the farmer's murky family history together. Jill is also drawn unwillingly into the affairs of the small public school where the dead man taught. Meanwhile, a peeping Tom is preying upon Lynmouth. Jill has just moved into her own house and she is afraid she's being watched. It's classified as crime and modern suspense. This one I got, not really for the cover, but the name of it. It's called My Name is Memory. I mean, the cover is pretty. And it's by Anne Brashares. Oh my gosh, she's the one who wrote The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I did not know that. This one is on my TBR. I just happened to find it, so you know I picked it up. It's called Belong to Me by Marissa de los Santos. And this one is about a woman who uproots her family and moves to the suburbs because she thinks it'll be a better life. And it ends up not being everything she expected. And she makes friends and, you know, life happens. Their lives entangle. I also picked up The English American by Allison Larkin. I got this for the cover. Literally just for the cover. I'm obsessed with Europe. I want to go over there so bad one day. So I thought this could be interesting. This one was a cover purchase. It's called Earthly Pleasures by Karen Netchitz. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I did not read the back of this. Listen. When Sky Sebring, a hospitality greeter inside the pearly gates of heaven, meets lawyer Ryan Blaine during his brush with death after a motorcycle accident, she falls so deeply in love that she follows him back to Earth. A world with strange customs she knows nothing about until she discovers that all of life's lessons can be learned from the lyrics of 5 Beatles songs. Lame. I don't like the Beatles, but that is so fun. This one looks fun and cute. It's called Sloppy Firsts. It's by Megan McCafferty. It's young adults, and it's written with like, it's got some emails in it and like notes, plus, you know, traditional literature. So I thought it just like looks fun to read. This one is called A Sister's Test by Wanda Brunsetter. Are you serious? This is number 2 in a series. So, but oh well. This one I picked up knowing it was number 2 in the series, but it is beautiful and it sounds so good. Like even the spine is so pretty with the watercolored writing. But it's called Getting to Happy by Terry McMillan. And the first one is called Waiting to Exhale, which I have heard really good things about. So I do want to find the first one so I can read this one. And when you take the jacket off, look at how bright and pretty that is. I am normally so neutral and with colors, but the weather change really has got me feeling it. This one I picked up because of the author. My grandma passed away, and called Hold Tight by Harlan Coben. I just really wanted to add this to my Harlan Coben collection. It made me think about my grandma, so I definitely wanted to pick this up. I got Spiderweb by Tom Grace. I actually used to own this when I was a child. Not child, like a teenager, but it reminded me of my teenage years because I got it for Christmas from my mom or my stepdad or somebody. And I never read it, but I wanted to. So I got it. This one was a cover pick. It is called Wild Nights by Joyce Carol Oates. And that is it for my book haul. If you guys have read any of these, let me know what you thought. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye. Oh yeah, I've got to do a